when Jesus went to the Garden of Gethsemane to pray, and he took Peter, James, and John with him, and he gave them one job. He said, sit here with me, stay awake, and pray. Well, you know the story. He went off to pray, came back, they were asleep. He said, look, he woke them up and said, can't you just, stay awake and do what I ask you? Went back off, prayed, came back. This time he called out Peter and he said, Peter, can't you just pray for me for 1 hour? And then, of course, it happened the third time. So they were basically asleep on the job, probably thinking to themselves, well, one of us is going to pray, or one of us can stay awake, one of us can do what Jesus asked. So, even spiritually, we get to the point where we say things like, I'm not really going to volunteer, even though the church needs it, because, there's other people that need to do that. Somebody will volunteer. Somebody else will take up the slack. I mean, in work, you see it all the time when you put a team together. There'll be some people who are 110%, and there'll be some people who are 20%, because they just feel like, somebody else will do it. But God wants us awake. God wants us awake so that he can equip us to do the things that he wants us to do. And he certainly wants us to pull our weight. He doesn't want us to rely on somebody else. So be careful. Be very careful of getting to the point where you start thinking, somebody else can do this. I don't really need to put out 110%.